Hello, vinyl community, music community, and people of the world. Hopefully the music isn't too loud in the background. Yes. Always glad to pick up the latest copy of Record Collector News. So, I feel like the music is a little loud, so we'll see. The volume's way over there, so. Alright. Just a bunch of pickups from the last month or so. First of all, we are listening to Riff Raff, Vinyl Futures. I could find very little information on this band, but as you can hear, it's hard rock. I read a description that it's like a cross between early Rush and Foreigner, which that alone seems kind of odd, but I'll let you be the judge. But I mostly picked this up due to the artwork, and the fact that it's a Japanese pressing with the obi strip. Sadly, when the guy was ringing them up, he tore the obi strip, so I had to tape it. You probably can't see that, but I had to tape it. So that was unfortunate, but you know, $2, so I wasn't about to complain. So yeah, based on the fact that I couldn't find much information on these guys, I figured it'll probably be okay to have it in the background. So we'll see. I may have to reshoot this video. Alright, so it's just going to be a mishmash of stuff. I did pick up one CD. I'm not even sure where I picked this up now. Oh, this was at Salvation Army. Anthony and the Johnsons. This guy has an amazing voice. Well, I guess technically I can't say guy anymore. Yeah. Anthony and the Johnsons. Self-titled, I guess. So, I was thrilled to pick this up. Amazing, amazing singer. Yeah. This I picked up at Savers. A book, but it's a complete opera. Of, my brother told me how to pronounce it, but now I'm forgetting. La Boheme, I believe. Another Side of Bob Dylan, by Victor Maymudis. So it's a personal history on the road and off the tracks. And this is an advanced reading copy. This one looks fascinating. I'm gonna have to read this one soon. Beethoven and the Spiritual Path. So, basically, talking about Beethoven's music and spirituality. That should be very interesting. And this is by David Tame. I totally feel like I'm being drowned out by the music, but hopefully not. Alright, and this one, I'm glad to have picked it up, but I suspect, you know, parts of it are going to be difficult. Eric Clapton's autobiography. Yeah, some of you may know that Eric Clapton suffered a horrific, absolutely horrific tragedy. An accident involving his son. Wow. And I'm curious to see if there's mention of Phil Collins in here, because Phil Collins talked about that incident, and more so the aftermath of that incident, as he worked with Eric Clapton on, I'm not remembering what song offhand. I want to say Tears from Heaven, because I think that was the song that was... Anyway. Yeah. Yeah. So that should be interesting. All right. Now, I have some good vinyl to show. Now, some of it, you know, isn't what most people would consider spectacular, but I'm thrilled to have added all these to my collection. So, I am a fan of Eddie Money. Just good rock, you know? And this is probably his most successful album, I would say. Can't Hold Back, because it has me... because it has the song Take Me Home Tonight. That was huge for him, absolutely huge. I know there was another single on there, but this song on this is I started listening to this before recording this. I listened to most of the first side, and this is definitely a standout track. Treat Me Right. So this one's actually a decent track. I like it. But yes, Eddie Money. Very happy to add this to my collection. Jay and the Americans, kind of vocal pop. Basically from the 60s. Has Monday Monday, Nature Boy. Yeah, a bunch of songs on there. Thrilled to pick that up for $2. In pretty good shape, actually. I have not listened to this one yet. Bonnie Raitt, Taking My Time. But you pretty much know what to expect with Bonnie Raitt. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Slowly building up my Waylon collection. This is Waylon and Company. Very, very cool. Men at Work. I think I have a couple of their albums, if I remember correctly. This is Two Hearts. I could be wrong. I don't think this has any like big hits on it. I'm pretty sure it was the song "Everything I Need." I think that one was a standout track for me. Again, if I remember correctly, just kind of a good ballad. Yeah, and I guess you can do it like this. Yeah. So thrilled to pick that up. Good Australian rock. All right, you know me and my blind buys. I always have to get blind buys. This is Eat Skull 3. Just some good noise rock. Surprisingly melodic, actually. I think when some people think of noise rock, they get turned off. But I think this would be a little more palatable for some people. I loved it. Very, very good. Yeah. Eat Skull 3. Alright, now we're into the big ones. So, I mean, you know, I love my blind buys, I love digging through the bins, but I'm getting to the point where there's albums that I have to have in my collection. Particularly because I'm wanting to film my top 10 albums. And there were at least a couple I needed to pick up for that. And these last 3 are in the running for being in that top 10. I still need to go through and kind of arrange them a little bit and figure out which ones fit in and which don't. Because in a number of videos I've said, oh, this is in my top 10, this is in my top 10. And I've probably said that for like 20 albums, so... so I have my work cut out for me, definitely. But, the first, this one, I'm trying to remember, well, I got all 3 of these on Amazon. I'll just show it. It's my favorite album by him. Peter Gabriel, his 3rd album, also known as Melt. Just fantastic. Oh man. Yeah. Back in the day I had this on cassette. And I played the heck out of it. To me, it's a very theatrical album. I compare it to Gene Sibrie's The Walking, which I'm sure doesn't help because most people aren't familiar with that album, but if you listen to this album and listen to that album, you'll see parallels. Very theatrical, almost performance art in parts. Just amazing. This one doesn't quite tear me to shreds like Gene Sibrie's The Walking. That album just tears me to shreds. But this one is very, very, very good. I love it. Oh man, it's hard to even pick out favorites on here, but Family Snapshot, that's a standout track for me. Lead a Normal Life, and of course, probably I think the big hit on here was Games Without Frontiers. And honestly, I mean, it's a great song, but I wouldn't put it actually as one of the best tracks on the album. So that kind of tells you the caliber of this album, in my mind. I can't recommend this highly enough. Just amazing. All right, this is an album I had been waiting and waiting and waiting for the price to drop, because I knew for a fact this was in my top 10. I had this on CD back in the day, and I played the heck out of it. The Cure, Disintegration. This right here is a masterpiece. Truly a masterpiece. It plays like a greatest hits. It's just amazing. And of course it has the song Pictures of You, which is by far my favorite song by The Cure. Just a fantastic song, and there are so many others on here. I mean, just Plain Song, Love Song, Fascination Street, The Same Deep Water as You, Disintegration. Oh my goodness. So good. If you want to dip your toes into The Cure, I would say this is the album to get. It's just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. One thing to note about The Cure is they're notorious for having long instrumental intros to their songs. Some of these intros go on for, you know, a good 2 minutes before he even starts singing. And I think Pictures of You is one of those, actually. So the songs are longer, and you know, they have those long instrumental intros. Very orchestral in a way. But I cannot recommend this highly enough. Oh, man. Yeah. I had a credit to use on Amazon. So I figured, you know what? Because I keep looking at it in the stores. It's typically around $45. And I said, you know, it was listed as $35 on Amazon, and I had a credit, so I figured, you know what, it's not gonna get any lower than this. I seriously doubt it. I mean, I could be waiting for a very, very long time. So I finally took the plunge. Oh. Yes, Pink Floyd, The Wall. I haven't even opened this one yet. Oh, man. I know my oldest brother got me into Pink Floyd. He had a bunch of their albums on vinyl. Okay, here it is in all of its glory. You know, I had to take off the plastic because you know, it's a gatefold. Yeah. Wow. See, this is like a payoff, man, for opening a gatefold. That's pretty awesome. Yeah. So cool. Yeah, so my brother got me into Pink Floyd. I'm sure at some point we watched the movie The Wall together, and I mean, I love trippy movies like that and just weird movies, but I'm sure it was the soundtrack that captured me. So at some point I got the CDs, and absolutely played the heck out of it. Yeah, so I don't know why I keep showing the back. There's not much there, but this force of habit, I guess. Yeah, so lyrics, although you know, not the easiest to read, but that's fine. Slightly interesting label there. Yeah. I meant to show, along with this record, I got some more inner sleeves, and I was briefly going to talk about the inner sleeves. I even forget what brand they are now. Anyway, I'm wondering if these are the same labels. No, they're different labels, actually. There you go. Oh, man. So many good songs on here. Of course, Comfortably Numb. One kind of an oddball one that has always really grabbed me is Vera on side 3. Also, Run Like Hell. Yeah. Oh, man. I can't believe I finally have this on vinyl. Yeah, I had been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for the price to come down. Just doing some hardcore price watching on it, and it was never coming down. And you know, I would look for used copies at the record store. I never saw any. Their new copy is, you know, $25. $25? Where did I get that number? Their new copies are like $45, and I just couldn't do that. I mean, I love this album, and again, I show the back, but I love this album, but I'm sorry, $45 for an album? No. Oh, so happy. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.